because none of us really knew about it. We really didn't know. We were like, what is this thing Terry wants us to do? And he was mad the whole way because every place we went, you passed up the ketchup bottle, the largest ketchup bottle in the world, or the biggest rocking chair, the whatever it was, the blue whale, we've got to go back. And we're always, and Roe is driving, you know, because he gets car sick if he doesn't drive. And he's a terrible driver, and he texts and he's a multitasks, and he's always reaching back. He's got 7 bags of junk, and it's always, he's reaching for some donuts or something. He's got 3 pillows. He's got a full-size pillow. He's got what he calls bony, this bone-shaped pillows. Give me bony, Steve. He's putting ointment of some kind on his arms, and he's driving and he's and Terry's like, you know, you missed the what? You missed the this. You missed the that. And I was like, what? You know. And every time, and of course, Terry's asleep in the back.
Terry's asleep.
The entire time. The entire time. This is, I'm telling you the truth. And so. Anyway, I deviate. Terry is trying to engage me in it because he knows I love the West and the cowboy thing I always have, you know. And so he's like, you know this, that, you know that. And Steve, you got to be the Will Rogers character. Because we were filming it, and Terry had all these scenarios. And I don't know if that thing will ever come out, but it's hilarious, but it is great. But he says, you have to learn how to twirl a rope, you know, before we get there, because when we get to the coast, we're going to film you in the sunset, twirling that rope, and that's going to be the last scene. The credits are going to roll, and you're going to be on a rock, and you know, overlooking the sunset, and it's going to be beautiful, which came to fruition. It's a beautiful thing. But anyway, so I knew, and it was great, because he knew I'm the kind of guy that's like, yeah, Terry told me to learn how to twirl a rope. I'm going to do it. And so, but I'm like, how am I going to do it? So I had a made-up rope. I made a rope up, and I struggled with it. I kept trying, and couldn't get it. You know, couldn't get it at the campgrounds. Gave me something to do though. And then we got to the Will Rogers Museum in Oklahoma. Anyone ever been to that?
Not yet.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. Yeah, a lot of films and of him, and just that whole. I don't know. It's interesting thing. But they had a rope in the gift shop for $30. That was an official rope. It's nothing really. It's the same as the real rope, you know. I don't know. It's the right length, I guess. But I'm like, how am I going to learn? And then Jimmy Abeck, who was with us shooting it and everything, he says, hey, Steve, there's some cowboy in there doing it, you know, and some cowboy with the chaps and the whole thing was doing it for the kids, you know, all the stuff. And so I catch him on the way out, and I said, hey, you know, told him I got to learn how to do this. Can you give me a tip? I mean, what can you tell me? And he was really gracious to me, and he said, yeah, you just toss it out there like you're tossing it onto a coffee table. And he told me the trick is not in the right hand, it's in the left hand. Because it's tangling as though like a garden hose, you know, when you wrap a garden hose, how it tangles with every pull and you have to twist it as you're winding it. That's the thing, if you twirl it and hold on to the rope, it tangles up in a second. And it's just no use. And that was the key. I'd been struggling, you know, until I got to Oklahoma. And so then I began trying this technique of unwinding it as I'm spinning it. And that's when I finally got it, which is not an easy thing to do. But I got the hang of it. So as I'm twirling it, look at my left hand. You see? See what I'm doing? I'm unwinding it as I go. And then I can do it forever, like this. But now, doing it with one hand, I'm letting it twist in my hands. That's the hardest part because it's spinning. The rope is turning in my hand counterclockwise the whole time. So my fingers are like doing like this.
And you still have to hang on to it.
And that took a long time to go to one hand. So that's the technique, and you could learn, if you get one of these, you can go online. It's pretty fun, really. I mean, if you're like me.
Are you eventually going to jump sideways through it?
I can't jump. I've tried. I got a little video. I'd like to take it to another level. I don't have all the time in the world, but the way they do that is they have a weight. They have a brass weight in this thing right here that goes in there. That weights so that you can do to do it.
To hold it.
What's the word for vertically? Yeah. Vertically, you have to have a weight. in it. And you have to have a longer rope, about 5 feet longer,
Wow.
which I need to order that. I'm going to, and then that would be something, because the thing I want to do is like have it going, and then you do the jump, get back and forth in there. That'd be a little out of control. People might think that's kind of going too far.
You would stop the show.
Cowboy hat.
But the whole thing, when I toss it up and drop it over me, I'm probably about 50%, 60%. So that's how I judge a show. Every show, it's like after we're riding the wind, so you guys, did you see how do you think the rope was tonight? And sometimes Terry brings it up first. Driving along, he goes, that rope, you really had a good